Chef Jesse here. How you doing? Well, okay, the music goes on, huh? Hey, there you go. Chef Jesse here today in my kitchen, my favorite time of the day, cooking. I was sick today. I didn't go to work today. I had a very, very bad stomach. I don't know what it was. But anyway, this is a cooking show. We're not going to talk about that. So anyway, folks, today you see my gear today. What else would I be cooking today? Look at me, I'm with my official jacket and everything. Well, today, folks, I am going to be making French onion soup. French onion soup. Okay, so for those who don't know, French onion soup it's soup made out of onions, right? Oh, so I'm going to be using some, I guess you can use different kind of onions, whatever. But anyway, I was looking for sweet onion, and Vidalia is supposed to be a sweet onion. So I'm going to be using Vidalia onions. I'm going to slice it up. I'm going to saute it in butter and a little bit of olive oil so that the butter doesn't burn. And then I'm going to add some beef broth and all the other ingredients, some pepper and some, salt, whatever it is. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And I'm going to be making French onion soup, okay? French onion soup, of course, is topped with bread, baguette, French baguette, if you could find it, and some cheese. You can use any different kind of cheeses and stuff. So today we're going to be using some Swiss cheese, a combination of provolone and some other stuff. It's going to be good, folks. So stay with me, okay? We'll be right back after this commercial break. Hey. Okay, folks, so I'm going to start cutting up my onions. I'm going to slice them semi-thin, and then I'm going to see how much onion I have. I'm going to use maybe about 2 onions or so, okay? So stay with me and I'll show you how I cut this up. So let's go down to the video here. Here we go. And I hope you can see this. Let's move this back a bit. There you go. So I got this big, pretty nice, large onion. And I got my new knife here that goes into, it's called the Everblade. And every time I stick it inside the holder, it actually sharpens. It's very sharp. I already cut myself like 3 times with this damn knife. So anyway, here we go. Okay? So I'm going to cut the bottom off. And I'm going to cut a little bit of the side off here. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I can stand it up, see? So you don't cut, there you go. So now I just need to peel this skin off a bit here. And let's see, okay. So I'm going to start cutting it semi-thin. Okay? This is just the start I'm doing today. Okay, and be careful. This knife is very, very sharp. Okay, and you can see it glides right down, and I'm cutting the onions kind of thin today. I usually cut them thick, but today I want them thin. Okay, so and then I'm going to continue cutting these. There you go, and I reached the end of it, and I can probably cut this up and do something with it later. But let me take the skin off. That I hate the onion skin, and then I'm going to cut these. I'm going to cut these down the line here. Okay, so bear with me a second. So folks, I chopped up my onions, and I have pretty much a lot of onions. But remember, even if it looks like a lot, it's gonna break down when you cook it. So I'm gonna start at a very low. I'm gonna start medium low, and then I'm gonna put my butter in here. I put my olive oil in there to prevent my butter from cooking, from burning up. If I need more onions, I'll probably add some more onions, but I think this is enough. But again, these onions are going to break. It looks like a lot, but it's going to break down. And it's going to, they're going to dissolve. They're going to become translucent. And I love that word, translucent. And I hate the skin of the I hate this. I hate to see the skin of the onions. Anyway, like I said, I have another onion standing by just in case. And I'm going to start to cook these, break them down. When they really, really break them down, I'm going to put some sugar in it to make it a little bit sweetness, a little bit of sugar, not too much. And then I'm going to put some pepper, I'm going to put some garlic powder, and then I'm going to put in the beef broth, okay? So folks, I like giving tips. Sometimes people know my tips, sometimes you don't. Now, never use a salt shaker or pepper to do this. Why? Because as you're cooking, the humidity is coming up and it's getting stuck. And this is going to start to cake up, okay? See, like this? It's going to cake up because of the humidity. So don't use, okay? I use my salt, my pepper, like this. I take a pinch, I put it in, whatever it is. Okay, so this is a little bit of tip just in case you didn't know. So remember, if you put this here, the steam is gonna come up and get this all steamed up, and the salt is gonna get. And this goes for any, any spice and stuff. You shouldn't be pouring it out of the bottle. I know a lot of people do that, but just a little tip. Now you can see that I started out with a lot of onions, and now it's just starting to look like nothing because it's being dissolved. Okay, so I might add a little bit more onions to this, just to build up the onions a little bit more. Okay. Now, folks, I'm gonna add some sugar to this. This is pretty not traditional, but I'm gonna add some sugar to it because I want to get some sweetness out of that onion. So I'm adding a couple of teaspoon or two of sugar to make this nice and sweet, make the onion sweeter, and it's not gonna do any harm to the soup. Just as long, mix it around, and the sugar will caramelize the onions a bit and make it nice and sweet if they're not sweet already. So that's it. So folks, today I'm going to be using Progresso. I like this brand. Beef broth, okay? Not beef stock. Beef stock is made from boiling the bones of the beef to make beef stock, right? Or vice versa. What is it? I don't know. But beef broth. We're using beef broth classic. And this is 4 cups, and I'm going to be using that to put there and my onions, and this is the base of my onion soup. Okay, and to this I added a tablespoon of garlic powder. I added some black pepper, a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to taste it after I put everything together. Remember, this is you can buy the low sodium one. I didn't find it today, but you can use low sodium. And but this is great. It's got let me see. Let's read it here. We got 810 milligrams of sodium. So if you're watching your blood pressure, I don't know what to tell you. So folks, let's start putting in our beef broth. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna put the whole thing in, and this should give us about 4 servings of the onion soup. Okay. I'm going to dump the whole thing in there. There you go. I'm going to taste it in a little while. After I'm going to let this boil and simmer with the onion and everything. And I'm going to taste it, see if it needs salt or what it needs. If it needs a little bit more pepper or whatever it needs. But my soup should be done in a few minutes. So folks, it's looking good. So I put my beef broth in there, which is the beef broth. It gets the flavor from boiling the beef, the meat. Beef stock comes from boiling the bones of the beef. Okay, so that's the difference. Beef stock, beef broth. Okay, so I was just playing around before when I told you I didn't know, but beef broth and beef stock, and I guess you can use both, either one. I mean, I don't know, but I always use the beef broth. So it's starting to look nice. It tastes delicious. Let's see. I'm gonna put a spoon in there. Let me get a clean spoon. You gotta be careful. Never double dip. Never double dip. Okay, here we go. And we're gonna taste this. Right amount of salt, right amount of everything. We're gonna put some, maybe some pepper in it. Okay, and it's just the amount that I'm looking for. See? This is the nice color. Now I'm gonna bring this to a boil. And I'm gonna cover it up, bring this to a boil, and my soup is done. Folks, this thing is done. Then later I'm going to put it together because you have to put the bread on top. I have these special bowls that I made for, I can't find them now, but I'll find them by the time I get back. I have these little nice bowls, and I'll put the soup in there and the bread on top, and when the cheese, put in the oven, melt it, and it's going to look delicious. So folks, my soup is almost done. And now I'm going to make a salad because when you go to a restaurant, they ask you soup or salad, right? Gilbert wants both. So he's going to have soup and the salad, and I'm just going to have the soup because my stomach is still screwed up. So, So folks, my soup is done, and now I'm going to put it together, and you're going to see how I put this French onion soup together, okay? So stay tuned. So folks, I'm about to prepare the onion soup, okay? I made the onion soup. Very simple. I showed you how to do it. You got to watch the video. And usually you go to a restaurant, they ask you soup or salad, right? Well, Gilbert said both. So we're gonna do a salad for him, and it looks like this. I already did it. Very simple. Lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers. It's got some cheese in there. It's got some bacon bits. It's got some avocados. And it looks like this. So I'm gonna take this over to the table so he can start off with the salad, and then I'm not having salad. My stomach is not too good today. So here I go to take it to the table for his salad. So folks, I took the salad to the table so he can start off eating the salad, and then the main course is going to be soup. So yeah, my stomach was messed up from yesterday. I don't know what the hell I don't know what I ate, what I did, but my stomach was stupid. So today I'm having onion soup, which is one of my favorites, and I'm going to show you how I put this together. So stay tuned. So folks, the thing you have to top the onion soup with is usually French baguette bread, right? I don't have a fancy supermarket around me. I have a bootleg supermarket, so I'm using Italian bread. Hey, it's got to be good. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to toast this, and with a little bit of olive oil and butter, and I'm going to put it into the toaster oven. I'm going to toast these. When they're nice and toasted, the reason I'm making them toasted is so they don't sink into the soup real quickly. So they get soggy and sink down. So you got to make these nice and toasty, like toast. And then I'm going to lay these on top of the onion soup, and then I'm going to be using some Swiss cheese today, and I'm going to be using some mix of some mozzarella that I found in my fridge, and you're going to see how I put it together. Okay, folks. So when are we going to put our French onion soup together? Let me see if I can find everything. Here we go. I got these nice little bowls that I told you about. These are especially for soup, especially for French onion. I used to have some smaller ones. They were nice, and the cheese would melt over it, but they were kind of small. You had to eat a couple of bowls. With this one, you can eat one bowl. So let me just show you how we are going to put this together. Okay, here we go. So we're going to get some of the onion soup. The onion soup is very, very hot. Okay, I made these with Vidalia onions, which have a little bit more tastier sweetness to it. Okay, there goes one bowl. And we're gonna put 4 ladles of each here. This thing should be about 3 or 4 servings that I made, which is pretty good. This is a pretty big bowl here. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is, there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way. Okay, we're gonna cover this up here. We're gonna put this here. We're gonna put this. Are you watching this? I don't know if you can watch this. Let me see. Okay, let me put this on this here first. There we go. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna put the other one next to it. Be careful, these things are very, very extremely hot. So you gotta be very careful. Okay, so now I'm going to lay my bread on top, which has been toasted. And it's toasted in a way, you see, that it shouldn't sink in so fast. So we're gonna do that. I'm going to lay the cheese on top, and then I'm going to lay some mozzarella cheese on top, and we're going to lay it like this. We're going to lay it like this. Okay, and there you go. Let me get another piece of cheese. This is going to have a lot of cheese in it, and it's great. Let me see. I want to cover this up here. I want to cover this gap here so I can put some cheese in there. There we go. Okay. And then I spread some cheese and it won't sink down. I'm going to put this in the broiler in my oven, which is on. You got to keep an eye on it, folks, because this will get dark quick. So, okay. So put it in there. A couple of minutes, sometimes a couple of seconds, because it's going to brown real quick. And you want that little nice burnt cheese on top, but you don't want it, incinerated. So stay tuned, and I'm going to show you how it comes out of the broiler. Okay, folks, so my soup is done. I put the like I said, these bowls are kind of big, so I really need like a custom-made piece of bread to go into. But anyway, I did my best, and they look great, and the cheese is melted on top of this bread, and it looks delicious. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to tilt the camera down so that you can see it. Look at that. Look at this. And this is extremely hot, so you got to be very careful. Extremely hot, I'm telling you. These bowls get hot, they withstand the heat from the oven. So you gotta be very careful. And you gotta be careful when you start eating it because it will burn your tongue and everything else. So let's take this out of the way here. And then we gotta take this to the table because everything looks better at the table. So join me at the table when I take this French soup over there, okay? So folks, I'm at the table and I am going to show you in a second how this French onion soup looks like at the table because everything looks great at the table. So let's turn around and flip this around. Look at that. Look at that. Let's get a picture of that. And like I said, these bowls are pretty big, so you would have to get some custom-made bread to cover up the whole top. But this is pretty good. It's pretty good, and it looks good. There you go. So folks, there you got it. French onion soup. There you got it, folks. French onion soup. Started out, I used some, I cooked some onions in olive oil and butter. Then I added beef broth and salt, pepper, garlic powder, and all that good stuff. I put some sugar into the onions to caramelize them so they become caramelized. Give that little nice sweetness to it. And I use Vidalia onions today, so I'm going to see how that did because I usually use, I forgot what I use, but anyway, I use Vidalia onions. And it's supposed to be a little bit sweeter. So we'll see about that. So anyway, we had that. And we're gonna have, this is what we're gonna have. My stomach is still messed up, so I'm gonna have some soup. Okay, so folks, with that said, I'm gonna go eat, and hope I see you guys. Well, tomorrow I don't know. Tomorrow I might be going out. It depends on the weather. But anyway, probably won't be at the kitchen. And Friday I'll be off. Gotta go see my parents in Chelsea. Gotta go visit my lovely Chelsea, place of birth, right? And but we'll be back Saturday. We'll be back Saturday with a surprise. I don't know what the surprise is yet, but I got 2 days to think about it, right? So anyway, love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thumbs up. Please give me thumbs up. Please say something good to me and all that good stuff. And I'll see you Saturday. Love you guys.